For the last year or so, Pokemon fans have been focusing on the removal of the national dex from Sword and Shield. But what about everything else that's been cut? Let's talk about that. Hello, this is Retro and Chill, and welcome to the channel where we discuss all things Pokemon. If this is your first time here, make sure you click on that subscribe button so you never miss a video. So the Pokemon series has seen a number of mechanics come and go over the years. This is something that's largely to be expected from a franchise that's run this long, and honestly, some of them weren't really missed all that much. Other mechanics, however, very much were. So today, I'm here to go through 5 mechanics that were cut from the series that I would like to see come back into the series in some capacity. Also, because this is the internet and this apparently needs to be made clear, everything I'm about to say is my opinion and mine alone. And it's completely fine if your opinion differs from mine. In fact, if you have a different list, why don't you tell me in the comments down below? But without further ado, let's get into this. There's been a lot of side modes in the games over the years. Some of them have been okay, some of them have been really forgettable, and others yet have been amazing. The top one of these side modes is the Pokéathlon. This game contained a bunch of really cool and varied mini-games that kept it interesting and allowed you to use a variety of different Pokemon, some of which are not useful in battle. Unlike contests, due to not being reliant on your movesets, Pokéathlon made it much easier to go through it with your in-game team instead of having to raise a team for it separately. And in all honesty, having a team that's good for the Pokéathlon isn't that hard. A lot of fully evolved Pokemon are able to do very well. And also, apparently Sunkern, for some reason. It has the same stats as the god of all Pokemon. We don't know why. What made it better was the way that you increased your stats for the Pokéathlon. So in Ruby and Sapphire, you had the Pokéblocks. In Diamond and Pearl, you had Poffins. Both of these were made using a minigame. However, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where the Pokéathlon appeared, you basically just put apricorns that you collected in the world into this special contraption called the Apri Shaker, and then walked around, and that made the Apri Juice. That made it so that you were able to just go on your adventure, continue with the main story, and make Apri Juice while you're adventuring. And with apricorns making their return to the Isle of Armor, it just makes perfect sense that if that's coming back to the series, why not bring back the mode that used apricorns as the main item to increase your stats? It just makes too much sense, honestly. Moving on from there is the mechanic of Mega Evolution. So since Gen 6, each generation has seemed to have its own gimmick. Mega Evolution in Gen 6, Z-Moves in Gen 7, Dynamax in Gen 8. But what makes Mega Evolution unique over the other two is the way that it took Pokemon that were previously unusable and competitive and made them viable for competitive play. And while yes, there were some Pokemon that were completely busted by this, although I am gonna say Blaziken was busted before this was introduced. He was broken in Gen 7 when he got Speed Boost. Mega Evolution just made him worse. I would argue in this situation that the good outweighs the bad. And it's so unfortunate that Game Freak decided to remove this and inadvertently nerf a bunch of Pokemon back to the realm of unviability. And so my reason to want to bring this back is that I want to just give these Pokemon a chance to shine again because their time in the limelight was unfortunately cut short. And yes, I am aware that this would probably be the hardest to deal with because of the Dynamax mechanic, but you could probably make it work somehow. We'll see how that would shake up. Just to kind of put into your head what mixing those mechanics might be like, think about Dynamax this. Yeah, no. That thing's already broke the game as it is. I don't think we need it to Dynamax. Moving on from that, we get into our third mechanic, Specialty Battles. Pokemon Sun and Moon were the first games in the series to cut battle formats from the games. This is largely due to performance issues on the 3DS, which is the same reason why the 3D is just always off in Sun and Moon. But with the Switch, a lot of that's not an issue. It can handle it. We can bring these formats back. Triple and Rotation Battles added their own type of strategy that made things actually interesting to play through. Triple Battles had that reliance on position and even had moves created for the purpose of switching. Rotation Battles made predicting opponent switches even more important because they can get a move off. Of course, I didn't mean just Triple and Rotation Battles though. I want to bring everything back. The one that would benefit players the most is Horde Battles. Those were one of the best ways to EV train in the entire series. In fact, they were even better than Super Training, which was introduced in that same generation. The best part was that you could EV train and level up to 5 Pokemon at once. And honestly, I just want a way to get EVs fast that doesn't involve just grinding out the Winden tournament repeatedly with Gmax Meowth. Ask yourself this: what's better than being the best trainer in the Galar region? Why, being the best trainer in the world, obviously. And what embodies that better than the Pokémon World Tournament? Arguably, out of everything I've listed so far, this is the easiest one to bring back because we already have those post-game tournaments that you can do. So why not just give the player more options to be able to include previous gym leaders? Also, this is an opportunity to bring the Elite Four in too, because they were notably absent from Black and White 2. I would like to refight Elite Four members as well, not just gym leaders and champions, please. And maybe old rivals as well. Possibly. Please, Game Freak. Story-wise, this could be justified by the fact that Dynamax only exists in the Galar region according to the lore. So therefore, you could have a bunch of elite trainers from other regions wanting to come to Galar to experience what it's like to battle Dynamax Pokemon. Although honestly, it doesn't need to make sense story-wise. I want it either way. Just make it happen. To finish things off, I think you all know what's coming up next. Number 5 is Pokemon following. From what I've seen, this is a fan favorite mechanic across every game. Fans across the entire series love this mechanic, and for good reason too. It added so much customizability to have any party member follow you outside of battle. I personally didn't like that in Heart Gold Soul Silver it needed to be in the lead, but Let's Go managed to fix that and improve it even more by allowing you to ride certain Pokemon. On top of this, future games could use this as another replacement for HMs. So instead of having to teach your Pokemon moves that aren't that good, you just have to have a certain type of Pokemon in your party. You kind of get the best of both worlds. Your party being involved in the game, but not having to teach them bad moves. And also you kind of need this because Sword and Shield was very linear, and the way to make a game still be linear, but not seem as linear, is to have obstacles that you can clear later on through progress. And the best part of all this, just like with the Pokemon World Tournament, this could be added fairly easily. Because Pokemon continue to appear in the overworld in these games, the animations for them to follow you around already exist. Pokemon already have the walking and running animations they need. And it's been shown to even Pokemon that are random encounter only still have walking animations. This is the point where I say that if you are a Game Freak representative, if you're gonna pick any one of these to add back, add this one. Come on, we want it. Just give it to us already. Anyways, that's just my wish list. I wanna know what your guys' wish list is. Tell me any mechanics you wanna see come back that I didn't mention. Also tell me if there's anything I put there that you don't want to come back, and just tell me why. I'd be really interested to know. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up to tell me that you liked it. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and click on that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. I upload new videos every Monday and Thursday, so stay tuned for that. But until next time, guys, peace.